Hey everyone, this is Julia from the Massillon Public Library. I am going to do just a quick recording. I just finished a meeting, which we called Book Buzz, our program here, where I had some community members join us and join me, and we just had conversations about books. And um, one person started talking about a specific book, and then that led to connections to something that somebody else had read. And then similar themes, and then talking about the way characters have worked in different books that we've read, and our English teachers that we had, and people that supported our reading. And anyway, it was a wonderful conversation about books that we called Book Buzz. So they weren't interested in being recorded. So I said I would kind of do a quick summary and just give you an idea of what we did. We're going to try this again in February, I hope, and hopefully we can get some more people to participate. And even if you don't want to be recorded, it's a way for us virtually to share our love of books and reading and authors, and kind of be together even though we're still in our own houses, in our own place. Okay, so one of the members who came, her name is Penny, and she was recommending a book called The Mystery of Mrs Christie. So this is where we started off with. It is currently, I think it's number 7 on the New York Times bestseller list, or as of last Sunday it was. And it talks, so the Mrs. Christie in the novel is Agatha Christie. So I've not read this, but she was sharing, I took notes as she was talking about it. She really enjoyed it. Talking about so it's like a biographical fiction, like historical fiction, a biography of Agatha Christie. Starts out in Agatha's voice. She tells the first part of the story, which is like how she meets her husband, how their life together begins. And then for real, in 1926, Agatha Christie disappeared for 11 days. There's 11 days where we don't know what happened to her. And when that part of the story comes, then the book switches. Instead of Agatha's voice, it goes to her husband, Archie's voice, and his way of what happened, how he communicated with the police and things like that. So Penny very much enjoyed this, and the author, who is Marie Benedict, she's read other things of hers as well. And so The Mystery of Mrs. Christie, we do own here at the Massillon Library. I believe it's currently checked out at the moment. Another one that we have is Lady Clementine. Again, it's a biographical fiction about Winston Churchill's wife. Another book that she mentioned, that Penny mentioned, that Marie Benedict has written is called The Only Woman in the Room, which is about Hedy Lamarr. So that talks about Hedy Lamarr, and one of the things that she did, in her life, was she was a spy. And in talking about that, then Jessica, who was another person who joined us for a conversation, was talking about the novel she's mentioned was A Woman of No Importance by Sonia, I think it's Purnell, maybe I wrote that down wrong. And the person in that story that's real, I think that, I'm not actually sure if that was a nonfiction or a fiction, talking about Virginia Hall, who was a spy in World War II. And that led to a nonfiction book that she read, Liar, Temptress, Soldier, Spy, written by Karen Abbott, and which talks about 4 spies during the Civil War. And 2 of them were Northern spies and 2 of them were Southern spies. And so kind of the play of those things going together, which then reminded her of a fiction book that she read, a historical fiction called Spy Mistress, by Jennifer Chiaverini. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right, but I think that's how you say it. So, and then that kind of got talking about women in history, and as women's characters in historical fiction or biographical fiction, and how they show ways that women have been doing things that we don't normally think of historically, and how this historical fiction gives them a voice to show the ways that women really did, that we have records that show women. I mentioned I recently finished the Evening and the Morning by Ken Follett, which has one of the major characters is a woman who came from France, from the continent, and then moved to England. This was in the late 900s, and how she brought in some of the ways that women were useful in government and in ruling land, dealing with the people. And she kind of brought that to England, and that really did exist. We don't think of the Middle Ages. We don't think of women owning land and making decisions. We think of them as looking all pretty and stately and having lots of children and dying because childbirth was hard. But we don't think of them doing the nitty gritty, real day-to-day stuff of ruling and being in the nobility. And so that's one thing that her character shows in that. So we talked about women in fiction. We talked about our appreciation for reading books aloud. So reading to a class, or reading to a class of children, reading to your family, reading with your family, even sharing a book around, or reading within a group, so that then you can all talk about it at the same time, which of course then led to a discussion of audiobooks. And everyone today has really a love and a use for audiobooks. I talked about my love of the Harry Potter audiobooks, the narrator and how he brings all the characters alive. Jessica was talking about some classic audiobooks that she read. One was Bram Stoker's Dracula. And when I say listening to audiobooks, I'm going to say that's reading, because you're taking in and you're remembering the information, and how that had different readers for the different parts, as the way that the story is told. Penny mentioned using audiobooks on long trips, or if you're doing, it's something to listen to help time pass, that is enjoyable. And looking through my list, I think I've kind of quickly summarized everything, but it was a wonderful conversation. It was a great opportunity to really love books with people. So I'm going to cut this really short. So we're hoping that we're going to be able to do this again, and we've each decided we're going to promise to bring in at least another 1 or 2 people, so we can make this a larger conversation. And if you're interested in this, please, you can call us at the library here at the Macedon Public Library, or email us. Check our website and look at our calendars for future. We hope we're going to do this again in February. Okay, I think that's it for today, and wish everybody a happy Saturday. Bye.